I'm Helena Kelly and I'm the author of Jane Austen, The Secret Radical. I came to Austen, as so many people do, as a fan of hugely romantic stories, of happy endings, wonderfully enjoyable, fun novels. But in my own case, I had that kind of romantic view of Austen interrupted quite quickly, because for A-level we studied Mansfield Park, which is a very depressing novel. It has a very kind of unsatisfactory romance. The heroine's kind of shy, quite passive-aggressive. Carried on reading Austen, studying Austen, ended up teaching Austen. I was marking some finals coursework and I was reading an essay by a student who mentioned a very, very famous quotation about the heroine of Austen's novel, Emma. And supposedly Austen had said that Emma was a heroine whom no one but herself would much like. I looked down to kind of check that they'd cited, and the footnote was completely blank. I went to look it up so that I could write it down. Except I then spent 2 hours trying to find this very, very famous quotation from Austen. And I couldn't, and the reason I couldn't is because it's not in anything that Austen wrote. But you find it everywhere. You find it in really every single book that talks about that novel, everything that talks about how Austen thought about her heroines. I decided that actually I had to go back and start again, essentially, to go back and kind of check that the things I knew were actually facts. A lot of the things that we think we know about Austen are not actually based on reliable evidence. And so I ended up kind of throwing more and more and more things out of the window. The only thing that I could really rely on was the novels as they stood and Austen's own letters. And what I found in the novels, kind of stripped of all the kind of extra information, was a writer who is very much less demure, very much less to do with kind of drawing rooms and teacups, and much more angry and unhappy with the way that the world worked. Discovered a very different Austen in her novels, and that's the one that I've tried to offer to readers in Jane Austen, The Secret Radical.